Mystique, welcome to our show. This is Late Night. This is Encounters, the late night UFO talk show. Lisa, Christy, Burton, Parasaurus, Three Howling Huskies, Clara Perez, welcome to our show. Hi, Mystique. We're just getting started here. We're starting at 11:18 on the East Coast. We'll be going till roughly about 1 a.m. At 1 a.m. we'll be calling it an end to the show. So we're going to go for about an hour and a half roughly here tonight. Good evening, Lisa. Good evening, everybody coming in here. Please follow like. Grilla, welcome to our show. Mac, welcome to Encounters. Douglas Grant, hello from Sacramento. Hello, everything's going well out there, Douglas. John, everybody else coming in here. Adyan, good evening. Good to see you again. Everybody coming out here tonight on a Sunday evening. We're doing well. Lacey, good to have you with us. And if anyone sent me any messages or videos and stuff or things they wanted me to know about, I have probably gotten your messages and trying to respond to some messages. I'm not able to on TikTok to respond. It says that it's really funny. It says that I've been sending too many messages or something. I don't know what it is, but hopefully that will clear up. Nothing else clear about Peru. From day one, I had very much felt that the Peruvian thing was basically made up. We weren't getting, or it wasn't made up, but we weren't getting really any true information about what happened down there. And I think a lot of it was not true. And I still haven't found any direct information on Peru. Jim, I told you about my UFO experience, seeing a crash, but you ignored me. Jim, we don't want to ignore you. We want you to be someone that we can first talk about. It's been crazy here. I've had people messaging me about things, and I haven't been able to respond. In the last day or two with TikTok, it says I've been sending too many messages too quickly or responding too quickly, and I don't know what's going on. But if you want to, I'm looking at you now while we're on here. Let's get into your story. You know, you'll be the first one on the top of the list here. Because we always have a lot of people in here, so let's hear a little bit about what's happening, and we're going to focus in on you. And let me see here. We're also going to follow you, Jim, so let's go into your story. Even though you have 240 people, it doesn't matter. We can at least read your comments on your story, and other people will be able to see it as well. Let me go here, and we'll just acknowledge everybody coming in here. We do the best we can. BA BAP, I think it's BAP, SZZ6, hello, good evening. TikTok has been censoring people really badly, me included. Luckily, I haven't been censored. It's just the messaging system. When people send me a message, I can't reply. It's saying that I've been sending messages too quickly, and I haven't been doing a lot of messaging too quickly at all, actually. Maybe it's when I'm sharing my live. That could be what happened. Yeah, Mac, let me see here. We're going to friend you. We're going to try to anyway. And now, Mac, we are connected. And I want to hear Jim's story. Commander, can you upload some of your lives to YouTube so we can rewatch? Yes, I'm going to start doing that. Gradually, I'm going to be uploading my lives to YouTube, and, so that's no problem. But, Jim, if you're still there, you're going to be my first guest on comments. I'd put you on live here if you had 1,000 followers, but we're going to hear your comments. So tell us your story. I'll reread them if you're still there. I don't know if Jim is still there or not. Ozzy, welcome to the show. Balky, I think. Oh, Jim. Yes, thanks. 1997, Northern Arizona, watched a UFO crash into a mountain right beside the road. You watched a UFO crash into a mountain. That's interesting. How big was the UFO? How big? Was it small, big? I'd like to know that. Welcome, everybody. We're listening to Jim's story from Arizona about a UFO in I'm going to go backwards here, 1997 that crashed in the side of a mountain. Mystic is saying, Jim, did it crash or enter the mountain? Did it crash or enter the mountain? Vincent, welcome to the show. Falmouth, Jamaica, welcome. Luna, good to have you with us. Sandra, welcome to the show. Jim says yes about the size of a house. That's pretty big. It slid down the mountain. So when it slid down the mountain, this is interesting. As it was crashing and sliding down the mountain, what happened to it? Welcome everybody coming here. Astro Photo, welcome. Trish, welcome to the show. I think it's Reggie, Beautiful Minds, thanks for the likes. Saint, Storyboy, Mystique, thank you for the likes. Tim, can ships camouflage into clouds? Yes. They can actually create a cloud around their ships. Thank you so much. Hope, love, thank you for the gift. Everybody please share and like. I want to get up to 50,000 likes tonight, Daryl. And Jim, when it slid down the mountain, what happened? So it was sliding down the mountain. Jim's telling a story from 1997 when he saw a UFO the size of a house crash into a mountain. Big Red, thank you. It crashed into it. It came to rest in a grove of trees. We started running over, thinking we just... Lisa, thank you for the rose. Right over, thinking we just... we're going to find out more about that story in a minute. So thank you for the hat. Thank you so much. Thank you, Big Red, for the hat. So you were running over, Jim, to where the crash happened when it slid down the mountain, and it landed in a grove. You were mentioning a grove. Then what happened? We're hearing a story from one of our followers here. He doesn't have 1,000 followers, but we're hearing Lucky. Thanks for joining us. Counseling 102. And I also read stories. If you're under 1,000 and you have a story to tell, I will read your story, and we can share it with everybody here. So it landed in a grove when it slid down the mountain. Saw a helicopter or plane crash. We got about 100 feet from it, and it rose up in the air. And what happened? It rose up in the air, so it wasn't destroyed. So this UFO, crashed into a mountain, or slid, and then was sliding down into a grove. Then it elevated up in the air, correct? And what happened to it? Oh, it flew off the original direction. That's crazy. That's really crazy, you know? So it hit the mountain, but it didn't destroy the craft. The UFO elevated and took off. Very interesting. Well, that also tells you what kind of technology they were using. Obviously, they were advanced enough to not have, been crashed like at Roswell, where the UFO or flying saucer crashed. It was like messed up from the crash, and problems existed. We're going to bring our co-host in here too. Whoops, let me see here. Say, hey, Jim, thanks for sharing that. That's a great story. That's a really good story to start off the show here. So I'm much appreciative of it. I'm glad I focused. It gets crazy in here sometimes, but we definitely appreciate you for sure. Could you imagine if you videotaped that, Jim? If you had you never know when these things are going to happen. If you had been able to videotape this thing hitting the mountain, that would have been a great video. NEAB21 says, when Kobe Bryant's helicopter crashed, I felt an immense energy timeline shift like it shouldn't have. Huh. Thank you so much for... Jim says, 5 of us saw it, not destroyed. It was crazy. Wow. Man, I would love to have that on video. Talk about disclosure. That would be like a great, great video to disclose the truth about non-terrestrial craft crashing into a mountain or hitting a mountain and sliding down, not even being affected, and then going back up. and just and totally taking off and disappearing, huh? You can't get any better than that. Oh, so down the rabbit hole will come on shortly. Okay. Our Linda, hello, blessings to everybody coming in here. That one Poe, good to have you with us, brother. I got ice water tonight. I'm out of the apple cider. But water is life. Remember that. Water is life, always. Let's see. Mac is saying 2010, 2011. Let's see what Mac is talking about. I have seen 3 events in, Louisville, Kentucky. You had, and I think, and my cat's always talking when we're on live. I have seen 3 events in Louisville, Kentucky, 2010 or 2011. Interesting. And Mac, what did they look like? Darlene, thank you for the teddy bear. What did they look like? Can you tell us? Bradley, I'm reading everyone's comment. Triangle is the TR3B. Let's see here. Whoops. Yes, for sure. We are living something. I don't the water. Willow, welcome to our show. Willow, good to have you with us. And I'm just reading people's things now as we get started. Please share and like. We want to get up to 50,000. We're at almost 6,000, but we want to get up to approximately 50,000 before 1 o'clock in the morning tonight. My cat's going crazy. Our bodies are made up of water. Yes, that's true. Did you know the water in a human being and in its body water mass is exactly the same as land mass? Okay, we gotta get our cat to calm down here. Okay, what's happening? Give me one moment. I have to pay attention to the cat. Catherine, welcome to the show. Welcome everybody coming in there. Tab, Darlene, thank you for the gifts. We appreciate that so much. Yeah, we gave her some treats. We have treats. We always take care of our beautiful cat, and she gets treats. We give her whatever she wants for the most part. Gotta love your cat, Jesse, good to see you. Hope everything's well. Trish, thank you for the likes. Everybody, thank you for your likes. We want to get up to 50,000, so that means everybody amp it up, amp it up, amp it up. Let's see here. Michael Ellis, welcome to our show Encounters. This is a late night show. Scott Hammonds, thanks for the likes. Chris, thanks for the likes. Andrea Roberts, thanks for coming in here to our show Encounters. Good evening, user 827. Good to have you with us. Max says, the one that I remember, I was walking my dog in a graveyard, and I'd seen 3 in your direction. Could you imagine walking in a graveyard and seeing 3? I think you said 3 UFOs. Is that maybe what you're saying? You never know where you're going to see it, but in a graveyard, you're watching, and there are UFOs as you're walking in a graveyard. Interesting. Lacey says, Moon has effects on us. Thank you, Darlene. Let's see here. And others for contributing to the live goal. Let's see here. Thank you so much. I'm reading everybody's stuff here. I love listening to these stories. I love it. I love it as well. I love people's stories. I think the best thing, Rap Tax, is hearing people's experiences, So many people. Let me see here. And we'll definitely bring some people on live here that can go like 1,000 plus. I want to hear some people that don't have 1,000 plus followers. I want to hear your stories too. So I'm trying to focus on a lot of the people that can't make it on live yet. And please support everybody here. Everyone follow everybody else. This way, if you have not 1,000 followers, we want to see everybody get there. There's no ego here with me. No matter how popular the show is, I want everybody to get to 1,000 so they can go on live and share what they're doing. But so verse, I think it's Vas of 1. I think that is what I'm saying. Nisi says, I saw grays in my room morph into white, bright light images and go through the walls when I was a kid. Interesting. Interesting. I had another guest on my show the other night that had her wall open up. And these small beings, they were a couple feet tall. She was a little kid at the time. She was taken through the wall, and she was walking in a walking area. And and it was an interesting story. And just your whole thing about Nisi, these grays were in your room and they morph to a white bright light image and they go through the walls. Were your walls opening up, or did they just go through the walls? This other person had the walls open up. Blondie, hello, blessings to you. Flo, blessings to you. Chesno, if you're in here, your subscription's expiring in 48 hours, man. Zuzu, thanks for sharing. Let's see here. I say hello to your cats. Yes, I have one cat, and she's a beautiful, beautiful cat. They want attention. They always want attention. This one gets all the attention we can give her. Kevin Miles, I was abducted, and I broke it after hearing a voice say, ask Jesus Christ for forgiveness. Interesting. Kevin, we're going to follow you, man. Yeah, maybe we'll follow you. I wish I had 1,000 followers, but everyone follow Kevin. Let's get Kevin up to 1,000. It might take some time. I know how it was for me when I was trying to get there last year, but you'll get there. Sue, thank you. Thank you for the gifts. Ed says, throughout, thoughts on the Phoenix Lights in Arizona. I believe that was one big spaceship when that happened. I remember when the governor came on with somebody wearing an ET mask. And then months later, after he was out of office, there was a documentary where he was on his documentary saying that what people were seeing was real. But at the time he was governor, he didn't have the guts to come forward and say that was a spaceship or a large UFO. Could you imagine the governor of state saying everybody in Phoenix and the whole area was seeing a large spaceship? He did admit that he didn't know what it was. Later on, he came public through a documentary. So, yeah, I mean, for day one, that whole area, there have been sightings there for years. But that was definitely a very massive spaceship. Candlelight. Mom and Dad played peekaboo, a bright light, something wild dropped down, then shot up as they opened curtains. Thoughts? Okay, so I'm trying to catch up with everybody. Kevin, about the abduction. Superman Blue. I had to physically fight a human gray hybrid. He was big. Interesting. Superman Blue, we're going to follow you too. All right. Now you have 6 followers. Everybody follow Superman Blue. I'm sorry you had that happen. Can you tell? I'm going to read comments. So if you're telling me your stories, I'm going to read them for those that are under 1,000. Tim J. I think it's Trailwiki. The multiverse is real. Another me sent me a song that was called You Got Your Troubles, I Got Mine. Let's see here. Pitch for you. My husband cracked my back, and all at once I was being pulled through a tunnel. I'm reading your comments here. Bradley Perrin says, tree line, no sound at all. One orb would be red and one white, one green, going really fast. Down the route, my cat's talking again. Good, Chesno. Sue, thank you for the roses. Willow says, I've had a lot of experiences and a lot of questions still at the same time. Willow, we are definitely going to try to, we know that Willow also is getting up there. She's got 222 followers. Everybody follow her. We want to get everybody up there. It might take some time, but on my show, I try to support all my viewers here to come and get up to 1,000. Bradley says, red orb always went one way, as so the others. Odin says, thank you for your subscription. We have 34 subscribers, Odin. Thank you so much. I appreciate that very much. Let's see here. I'm reading your stories. I see orbs before. First experience was a mountain figure with slit red eyes, 7 to 8 feet. Sue says, Skinwalker Ranch. Max says, happened after physical biological dad dies. Interesting, Mac. The one post says, I saw a small ship appear just above my head about 15 feet. It's a very interesting event about 10 years ago. Yizzy B. Buzzy, I think it is. It was more than one, but yes, one massive one, yes. I'm reading your comments, folks. Thoughts about Linda Moulton Howe. I met Linda Moulton Howe years ago in Connecticut at a UFO conference that a friend of mine used to do yearly in the state. I met some of the most well-known people. I think Linda is very much on with it. I liked her. I did a TV show. I interviewed her on video camera many years ago, probably going back in the 90s in Connecticut when she was here. I like Linda. I think she is very down to earth and her information is good. Max says, way back in 76 when I was 11 years old, me and my mom saw 2 UFOs that flew past us. Interesting. Lacey Big Fish says they're going to find a big UFO. I might have to take a look at the cat. She's meowing. Give me a moment, folks. I'm going to come back from your comments. I call her Miss Mal. I think wants a few more treats. I'm going to see what happens here. It says, Mal is saying Mal. I'll be right back. Please don't go anywhere. If you have a cat or a dog or a pet, you know you have to love them and take care of them. Even when you're live broadcasting all over the world, you got to take care of them. We're going to have Below the Rabbit Hole, Down the Rabbit Hole, I mean. My co-host coming on soon. He'll be telling me when he's ready. But we're going to stay here unless the cat comes in here going nuts. We'll be right here. Whoops. Will says, so my mom thinks she was abducted while pregnant for me, and I'd much like to say about that. But interesting. So if she was taken and was having, and the ETs were interbreeding with her DNA, that could be possible. So you might be a hybrid in terms of human DNA and ET DNA. I have a scoop mark on my left leg. Nisi, that's usually, I hear a lot of stories about scoop marks from people that have been abducted. That's because they took something out of your genes in your body, and most likely were trying to duplicate the human gene into their non-terrestrial form. These beings that are doing this are pretty much those that have lost their human emotions and the things that we have. So they usually are trying to regain what they've lost through the human interaction. It goes against universal law in terms of what they're doing, but they have done it, for the last couple of decades. They were less than 150 feet away. Thank you, Down the Rabbit Hole. From us, and they made no sound. Picture golf for you. Yes, it was clear, and us talking, I can describe it. Go ahead. I'm reading everybody's stories. I'm multitasking comments here tonight. Bradley says, I had a dream a couple of years ago. Millie, thank you for the roses. I met these beings that looked like us, but they had bronzed skin. Interesting. Bronzed skin. Darlene, thank you. That's interesting. And Bradley, what was the Enia B21? Thank you for the roses. What was when you had that happen in the dream? I always call the dream state the reality state. I'm very curious. That's exactly how they contacted you. Did you feel a sense of communications? What did they tell you? So not every dream is just like a basic dream where you see you're going out having some French fries and you end up riding a horse. You come out of your dream. The ones that are like this, the more cosmic dreams, are really, truly a real experience. So can you tell us Did they communicate with you in any way? What did they say? Anything? Willow says, I've been communicating with different things telepathically on and off all my life. Interesting, Willow. I'm reading people's stories here. Thank you. Thank you again for the gifts. And I've seen a few different entities also during gateway experiences. Bradley says, blondish white here, blue suits. Then I remember I was floating back down and I woke up. You were actually connecting with, I don't know where they're from yet. I'm just hearing your story. But I can tell you they were from a very high level spiritual area beyond our vibrational frequency. So they contacted you in the dream state, which is basically the reality state. And so you kind of switch up things. Very interesting. Have you had, Bradley, any more dreams with them? And what year would you say the dream was? You remember it obviously very clearly. So do you remember, what year it was and if you've had any follow-up with them in the dream? Willow says, one of many experiences. Marinette, good to have you with us, one of my moderators. Can I send you a video? You definitely can. Critical blood line therapy. What is in the video? Can you tell me what the video is? Before you send it, I'd love to get more information about it, but you certainly can send me the video. Lacey says, I know, pay attention to the numbers you see a lot. Let's see here. I'm almost out of the hole. Okay. Let's see here. I'm just reading notes. Daily vibes with my soul tribe. Says, my experiences are not physical, but almost clairvoyant, and in the dream time on a ship to heal on a frequency bed. Oh, we're going to have you on our show, Daly. Would you like to come on the show? The dream state is always important because that's the reality state for a lot of people. I'd love to hear and plus you're a clairvoyant, I'd love to hear what happened in the dream time. The dream time I've talked about on the show being really a time when you connect with the space people. It doesn't have to be in the physical time when you're awake. It'll happen in the dream state. They will come to you and meet you halfway. So the dream state is a place where you go out of your physical form and you meet them out of your physical body in the dream state. Those dreams are actually really events that are happening. And the fact that you remember them clearly is extremely important. So I'm going to invite you on to come live as a new guest. I'd love to hear your story. We'll get to other people here, and I am reading stories here too. I'm also concentrating on people's stories. Can we see her? We got the screen a little bit bigger here.
At the minute, but that is my real face that's on there. I'm actually from the UK, and it's 4:45 in the morning at the minute.
Oh, 5 in the morning. Okay. Well, we're
Yeah,
glad to have you on. That's fine. That's fine. Whatever works. And,
thank you.
And yes, and it's very interesting that you talk about the dream. I've always talked for months about how when people talk about things in their dream related to non-terrestrial beings, having contact with space people, as one person mentioned in their dream, it's happening now. That's the way they're starting to contact people. And it's an easy way because there's no threat to anything. You're in a higher state of beingness when you go into that dream. They say, okay, now we're going to meet, and there's no fear. About your seeing what occurred?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I actually felt them step in and contact me in a non-physical way. I'm not, a fully fledged psychic, but I have gifts like we all do. And initially it scared me, so I said no. I put up a spiritual boundary, not a protection one because I didn't feel threatened, but I felt frightened because I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And some time passed, and I was actually doing quite a lot of internal work. Like I was doing quite a lot of work through, working through trauma and, just trying to become a sort of freer person than I was. Right. And there was this one particular night, and it was an incredibly vivid dream. But it was completely respectful. There were no bad vibes. Nothing frightened me. So basically, I don't see the journey between leaving and arriving on the ship. that
Mm-hmm.
part misses. And basically what happened, they didn't communicate with me verbally. It was all done through, like, it felt like a type of telepathy, but not one I've really
Yes.
experienced here.
Mm.
And they asked me, would I get on the healing bed, which I knew, and it didn't feel like they were going to do anything horrible to me. It was all,
Mm-hmm.
consensual. There was nothing horrible about it at all. And the only way I can describe this bed is in it sort of vibrated, and
Hmm.
I could actually feel the sensations, but I could see it in my dream as well.
Yeah.
And I remember a few different beings stood around me. Um, and if I had to describe them, I would say they were one of them was a tall type grey, and the other one was a smaller type grey. There was a third being there, but I don't recall an
Hmm.
image.
And how did you feel about, when you mentioned now more about their physical being? Um, they didn't do like, okay, like I know Bud Hopkins many years ago. I met him at a UFO conference over the years, and he would deal with people being abducted. So you didn't feel like you were being abducted in this dream. That's where they met you. They made it look like a dream. In a sense, you actually had a real experience. You were on
Yeah,
this bed, and they didn't like poke metal objects
no,
into you or anything.
no, it was purely trying to assist me. And I have fibromyalgia, or I don't really want to give it all labels, but my
That's okay.
physical health was poor.
Hmm.
And I've just been improving and improving ever since.
Hmm. So they
I
did. They
also
were
had I
basically.
also had an I also had another experience,
Hmm.
which has stayed in my mind as well. So it's obviously important. But I was actually doing some theta work, and I was with a teacher that's been teaching me and guiding me through the sort of the spiritual uncovering process that we do when we clear our trauma. And I was taken to what's been explained to me that resonates with me is that when we incarnate, we obviously come in, we're carrying as much light as possible, but as we experience trauma, it kind of, if something's quite serious trauma, we can become fragmented.
Hmm.
And that sort of thing gets reinforced then by belief systems, and it establishes a pattern, and it's happening in the subconscious.
Hmm.
um, what we actually did was it's like an inner child work.
Hmm.
So we went, uh, it was not somebody leading me, but they were just holding space for me, if that makes sense. This was an
It
actual
does.
person, my teacher. And we went and followed my soul pieces that had become fragmented. And it led
Hmm.
me to a few different lifetimes. It's going to sound really insane.
No,
Um,
not here. It's not. But go ahead.
Yeah, but you do feel a little bit crazy when you're talking about it. But I know my experience, and I
Hmm.
know I'm an honest person, so I know there are other people out there that are, honest and true to their
Yeah.
word as well. So during this particular journey, I was taken through different dimensions. The first dimension I went at was actually it was around this huge tree, and I was introduced to three beings. It's going to sound even crazier. One was Native American. Obviously, I've grown up in UK. I've had a UK education, so I
Right.
know nothing about the culture or traditions or anything like that. We haven't been
Right.
educated in that way.
Okay.
And I was given a name, and whilst being stood at the tree, I had a being came to me that actually looked like a white lion that was standing up. And all he
Hmm.
did was he put his paw on my heart. He didn't say anything,
Hmm.
but he put his paw on my heart, and the whole paw literally covered my whole chest. It was huge.
Hmm.
And we then went up into another dimension where I was collecting another soul piece that had become fragmented. And I was introduced introduced to a blue being who actually
Yes.
assisted me, and we ended up in a completely different planet.
Mm.
It
The
sounds
blue
really
being.
far-fetched. It
No, no,
sounds
it's not
really
far-fetched.
far-fetched, but
You have
this
to,
is
you have
honest.
to, you have to believe that it isn't, Daly. 30 years ago, maybe people have said, "Oh, this is nuts." Things are happening. People are coming out now. They're coming out of the closet. The reason why? Everything's going to come to the surface. The existence of non-terrestrial beings, the star people. That this show is a place where you can validate what you're saying. You're not far-fetched. You're not crazy. You have to believe yourself. I want you to tell yourself right now, beyond being what I do workshops where I bring people together in Connecticut to talk about these things, to take them on journeys to a golden ship. You're not crazy. So the blue being is an Arcturian. So in this
Yeah.
dream state, you actually met an Arcturian, which is a real being from the Arcturus star system. That's what the blue being is. But go ahead.
Yeah. So what was explained to me when I was collecting my final piece that I obviously was meant to pick up on that, during this lifetime, unless there's going to be more, obviously. Um, I was taken and shown a child, and this was explained to me that this was my inner child, and it was an actual alien boy,
Hmm.
but he was being held in a room. There was obviously something a little bit nefarious going on. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it was like the child was held prisoner.
That's not good.
And yeah, but I mean, the child was, I safely removed the child, and the child was guarded.
Mm-hmm.
And what was explained to me was that my parents on this particular star system being controlled,
Yeah.
and they were being forced because I was held. And I refer to the little boy as me because I do know that part is me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and basically, the parents are being controlled to do work that they don't want to do.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So these fragments of yourself, and we're talking about in your dream state being in the reality state, and I can understand this. And the reason why I understand this is because we have to look at things not from a 3D perception, folks. We have to say, well, if you're listening to the story and say, how is that possible? Our 3D mind's going to say, how is that even possible? You have to think out of the box. You see, we've been programmed to believe only things we've been taught here on this planet in schools and so forth, on TV shows and whatever, and it doesn't talk about these things. And the thing is, now 30 years later, people have had these experiences in the dream state. I find your story fascinating because it's real. Your dream state is now a place where the realities happen. Sometimes we see things in the dreams that are encoded. So what it might be a big, the thing with the lions thing could be completely being shown a different picture, so you can, understand it in a way that they want you to understand it. But nevertheless, it's bringing you together. So when you're on this bed on this ship, where you were, these different things that were happening to you as you were traveling in this dream, you were getting fragments of yourself together. How are you on? You were talking about your physical stuff, not to get really too much into it or whatever, but how are you since the dream? Have these dreams reoccurred, and have you felt yourself much stronger? You feel, your vibrational feelings are much stronger. Can you explain that in terms of what's transpired from your dream?
Yeah, sure. Obviously, the frequency bed was in dream time, but all the
Hmm.
other experiences I've had have been in like a theta state.
Can you explain what
So
that is?
it's the brain waves that are used in between. So it's before you go to sleep or just after you've woken up. But you can actually induce the brain to perform in a different frequency state. You can
Interesting.
do that
Okay.
naturally. You don't even need any type of additional help, if you like. I know there's quite a lot of information out there now about,
Right.
taking different. But for me, my heart is what is the Stargate.
Interesting. Interesting. So through these experiences, over time in the dream state, which is really what I call the reality state, I have so many people that have talked about when they were dreaming, they were taken on board a ship by different beings somewhere, and I
Hmm.
tell them the that is basically the reality state. And in fact, what we're doing now is dreaming. Well, we're not really dreaming, but we are. In a sense, what we're dealing with every day here is a dream. But when we go into the dream state with these experiences, that's when we're free. That's when our bodies are free. Our spirit is free. Our higher self is free to leave. The body's safe, and you now meet the space people from that level. That's because they're where they are. There's no time, there's no limitation, so they can meet you wherever that meeting needs to take place, and that is what we call the dream state.
Yeah,
So it's
but I actually
interesting.
feel them. I do
Yeah.
feel them when they come in, but I never
Mm.
see something physical. However, I know it's there. Um, and I still, they know I'm not ready because it
Mm-hmm.
still just scares me that little bit.
Mm.
So it's me that's putting up the barrier. However, um, I know when they're here because I
Yeah.
feel them. And
Beautiful.
there is this sort of communication that happens which nobody else would be able to hear
Mm.
because it's me communicating them without words, without
Mm-hmm.
actually speaking any sound.
Let me ask
But
you a
I know
question. Yeah.
what I'm
Go
meant to
ahead.
do. What I'm
Mm-hmm.
meant to do. I've been doing a lot of soul searching recently about why I'm here, what my purpose is in life, and what I know now is that my part of my role here is to create artwork to show people what these other dimensions are like.
Mm. Beautiful. Have you
Yeah,
created some of the artwork? Have you started doing that?
not yet. My health is all, I mean, I had to go and have heart surgery. So after I went
Oh.
on the ship,
Mm-hmm.
no, it was always there. This isn't
Mm-hmm.
something that happened
Right.
because of being on the ship. This is something that was
Right.
already there. But what's happened is that doctors have actually discovered it now,
Mm-hmm.
since being on the ship, and I've had an operation to fix it. So I'm on that road back upwards. So my strength
Oh,
and
good.
resilience and stuff is all building back up. But before that, I was literally bedridden. Yes, I could get up and
Wow.
go to, yes, I could get up and go to the toilet and, you know, do things like that. I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
bedridden as in I could do nothing for myself, but
Right.
it wasn't to that extent, but it was, you know, 90% bedridden basically.
Mm-hmm.
And now my life's completely different and I'm just getting stronger and stronger all the time. So I know I'm at a building stage and I know, you know, timing things sometimes as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Sometimes you've got to act right away. Sometimes you have to go inside and seek the answers for yourself. And sometimes that takes time.
It does. Have you not only the dream state, have you any physical encounters? I get the feeling that they have physically outside of the dream state, which is a reality state, as I said earlier, that you've been visited on a physical
Mm.
level.
I've been watched since I was a small child.
Mm-hmm. And who's been
However,
watching you? Do you know who's been watching you?
I can give you no honest answer about
Mm-hmm.
when I was a child. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm 40, nearly 48 years old, and
Okay.
you know, things are vague. However, I understand that I remember feeling watched as a kid, and I knew it was something that other people wouldn't see.
Yeah.
But yes, I haven't seen anything physical like I see a physical object. I
Mm.
haven't seen any like apparition type things. However, with my gift, it's like running a picture in
Mm-hmm.
your brain, but you can't see it with your physical eyes, but
Yeah.
you can see it in your mind, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Now, I think that you're being visited on a physical level. I read energy on people when I interview them. I think they're with you and they gently are there, very invisible to you, and they are in contact with you. If you choose to open up and say, I know you're here, I'd like to communicate with you, they will do that. But that can happen when you want to. I'm just sharing that they not only always have been with you, but they can actually come quietly into your space without being intrusive. They don't want to be
Exactly.
intrusive.
Yeah, I mean, I've told them, that I'm not ready to actually see
Right.
yet here,
That's right.
right here. They know that. But all of my contact has been completely respectful. I've had
Yes.
the only time I felt anything that was, I would describe as a negative entity was when I was taken to this other planet where the child was held.
Wow. Wow. You're just, and now your body is reacting, and they've been quietly helping you. The way I see it right now, as I'm reading your energy, they don't want to be intrusive. They're totally respectful. They want to see you healed, your heart area, and you're right. You're gonna be in beautiful shape. You're gonna heal, and you already know
Mm.
that, right?
Yeah, of course I do.
There you go. See, as long as you know it, that's the most important thing, because it's your physical body, and obviously these experiences are not just dreams. They have been working to help you very gradually heal. So I'm really, and I send my love to you and my healing energy to you,
Oh,
that you heal quickly. That's one of the things I do on here and in my workshops. I do Christed healings with my hand, and I don't project anything. But people have been on my TikToks over the months and months. When I've done those specific lives, I do Christed healing with the palm of my hand, and I'll be doing those shows probably during the mornings on a weekend or something. You'll hear about it, but this is really more of a spiritual UFO show. This is my co-host down the rabbit hole. He's
hi.
with us,
Hello.
and he's a great co-host, and he is just
Salutations. I love
part
your
of our
story.
spiritual family. Uh, also, if you've been sharing your experiences on here, I just want to mention, Ed said, what exactly are the orb star-like anomalies, entities, or craft? Well, some orbs can be ships. If they're really huge in the sky, those would be ships. Star-like craft that look like stars that are moving, those are usually motherships. But it can vary. And I just want to quickly, we will get to those under 1,000 to your comments as well. So we're not ignoring anybody. I'm also going to invite with us here, if he's on. Let's see here. Well, we'll find out. But right now we're talking to Deli Vibe. And do you have any questions down the rabbit hole for her? She's had a fascinating story or stories about her whole life with the encounters with these space people.
No, I really connect with your story because when I first met the commander, I told him that when I was first, getting contact, I made the choice not to get contacted at first. I made the choice of, hey, I'm not ready. I'm scared. There was a
Hmm.
fear there. And when I'm ready, I'll let you know. And when I let them know, boy, they came with love and light.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
I did have that fear at first.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
gonna
And
lie.
the fear is natural, It's,
of
hey,
course.
look, we're born in a world with all we know is this is it. And then when you start having non-terrestrial beings or spiritual beings from other planets interact with you in different ways and come in different forms in your dream or reality state, we say, what is this? What's going on here? We don't understand it, right? Our mind is like saying, I don't understand any of this. I'm afraid. But as it becomes gently more open, as down the rabbit hole is saying, we become more confident, realizing they're here, to take me and destroy me and eat me up. They're here to say, here we are. You're connected with us. We want you to know now we're here with you. We're here to connect with you. We're part of your star family, so to speak. I use the word star family because we all come from the stars, even though our mind likes to tell us we're just born with physical parents and this is it. And it's not it. So your story daily really vibrates with a lot of people because you're having these experiences all your life and they're being very conscious of who you are and very respectful. As you said, the
Hmm.
respectfulness is incredible, because they're not here to harm you. They're part of a connection you have and will continue to have, right?
Yeah, I
Yep.
mean, the boundaries have always been respected. And when I see other people talking about this sort of thing,
Mm,
I try to let people know that, this isn't about demons and hell, and, it's far greater than that. It's far
it
greater
really
than
is.
that. And there's in every system, you will find good and bad. It's just one of those things. So, with the experience I had where I went to this other planet, um, and it was so strange. It was like it had this massive volcano, and the building
Mm,
was actually surrounding the whole of the volcano, and it's like a sort of I guess a base, like a base type place.
yeah,
Um,
like a base on the planet for the beings on the planet.
yeah, but there's not very good stuff going on, but
Hmm.
people are. I say people, these beings. Some of
Hmm.
them are being controlled by
Yeah,
other beings. That's
that doesn't
my
sound
in
too good.
my but everything else has been completely respectful. And on that particular experience, um, although I could feel all the emotions of trying to get a child out of a place where,
Hmm.
there were guards guarding the door, there was one either side of the door.
Yeah,
Um, I still managed to get them out, but that's the only sort of negative experience that I've
right,
had. Well, in some sense it was negative, but in a lot of
right.
ways it was positive.
Hmm. So yeah, I mean, you look at you weigh the scale of that one negative thing at that base, and all the other things in your story about the beings that were positive in your life, that are just, invisible. I use the word invisible, but they're really there. They're not doing that kind of stuff. They're there for another purpose, which is to help you heal. It sounds like they've been really wanting you to heal your heart, get more energy, and I have a feeling that's what's been going on, and that's really important to understand the dynamics of this. The human mind might not understand how this is working, how these beings or others from other planets work when they try to help heal a person physically. But there have been stories about people over the last few decades that had physical problems, that they were taken on board a ship by human type beings of light, and they were healed physically, you know. Uh, and it has happened. And you're an example of where that potentially is happening with your heart, which I think, obviously they want you to physically be healthy. You have a mission to do. Obviously, I read your
Hmm.
bio. You definitely are growing into your own mission in your 40s in the human experience, but you have a bigger mission, being on this planet. As I always say, we're all here to do work on this planet. We all volunteered to be here. So being clairvoyant and having other things that you're learning about yourself is part of helping others. You have beautiful experience coming up. You're just starting to, as you heal your heart, you'll be able to help other people with a spiritual heart, to help them. Do you feel that?
Yes, I do. But I think I think it's not always clear that we have just one thing to accomplish
Yeah.
while we're here.
Right. That's right.
Yeah, there is a main theme that runs through your life.
Hmm.
If you look for it, it's there. You will
Yes.
find your purpose. But I kind of feel a little bit at the minute that I'm here to kind of just plant little seeds here and there
Hmm.
across
Hmm.
the sort of people that come into my life naturally, either on
Yeah.
the internet or spiritually or physically. But what they've explained to me, and I was one of those rebel kids, I didn't
Hmm.
really do very well at school.
Hmm.
So my science knowledge is not great at all. But what they
Hmm.
explained to me is that because the energy here is so dense, it slows the matter down to create the
Hmm.
physical um, objects that we see.
Yeah.
But obviously, because we're using our physical eyes, we only see a very, very tiny portion of what is actually around us.
That's true.
Okay.
Absolutely true. That's absolutely true.
Yep.
Where our planet's going into a higher vibration rapidly right now
Hmm.
since 30 years ago. That's why people are going nuts, because we're getting ready to have contact with our star family in the next few years. And, this is going to happen. So things are going crazy now. Their bodies, everything around them is going crazy. The planet's going kind of nutsy right now in many different levels, that people are kind of freaking out a little bit over it on Earth changes or whatever. But really, truly, we're going into a much higher state of frequency. It's now releasing everything that's been basically dug into her, Mother Earth, and Mother Earth is saying, "This is it." Other planets are going through the same experience, like in our solar system. Every planet in our solar system and beyond, other galaxies and other solar systems, are all going into this amped up vibration, which is going to change everybody's lives everywhere. Not just Earth people, but people in Saturn, people on other planetary systems that we don't even know about. That's why things are happening now. This is why it's so important with this show. I want people to know, and hearing your story, really the people have to realize that we're going to be things that we've never seen before in our lives, talking cosmically here. So your mind's going to say, what the heck's going on here? And people are like, what's going on here? I read the comments. I research sightings from all over the world. People are saying, I just saw this thing I can't ever believe I've seen just now. For the first time in their lives, they're seeing UFOs, basically UAPs or spaceships, I call them, that they can't describe. People having first time experiences all over the world. Why? Because things are going to start happening. And I can't say it enough or stress it enough. People really have to get ready. So what you're doing is, like you said, Daly, there's many different aspects. It's not just one thing you're doing. You're right. You're going to be doing many different things. You're not just doing one thing, right? You're going to do many
Hmm.
different things.
Yeah, yeah, I can feel that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, is there any
So,
other things you want to, Rabbit, go ahead.
yeah, I've got a question. You said you're in Europe, correct?
In England.
In England. So,
Yeah.
as opposed to America, Americans seem to be very open and, accepting of, aliens, UFOs, ETs, beings, whatever we call them. How is the perception in England, and how is is it the same? Are there people that are interested and naysayers? So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, a lot of my physical contact with people in England is on the internet. I choose to be quite isolated off at the minute,
Okay,
just for, personal reasons, for growth reasons. Sometimes we've got to go right inside ourselves to then bounce
sure.
back out. That's how it's worked with me anyway. But what I see online with UK people is very mixed.
Hmm.
Some people are very open-minded, others are closed-minded, but you'd expect that anyway, wouldn't you? So,
Sure.
Right.
but what
How
I
about
was
the
I was
perception of
in
government?
pardon?
How about the government's perception of it? Have they been vocal about it at all?
To be honest with you, I wouldn't know. I stay away from politics,
Mhm.
because a lot
Fair
of it
enough.
is very, very corrupt, and I just don't vibe with that at all.
Right.
I think in a lot of ways, yes, we have to focus on, the present of what's happening now as well. But,
Mhm.
when you pay with your attention, you can almost feed something. So I pick my timing very wisely with when I choose to look into the politics side of things.
Yeah.
But my honest answer is I don't really know. I don't
Yeah.
really know.
Well, you
Yeah.
know
And,
what? You're here with us now. We believe
yeah.
you, and
Everybody
we're
here,
all
this is a
family.
show, and I'm following your daily vibe too. Everyone's follow her. You're in a place where the group of people here that are finding this show are relieved that I'm on radio. This could be your background, my background. I've been on radio since the 70s, but I've been doing a show called the Cosmic Eye Ashtar Command Radio since about 20 years now on NPR Pacific Radio here in the United States in Connecticut. And it's a show dealing with the Ashtar Command. I deal with spiritual. I'm a contactee. So I was a contactee since I was a kid. That's when I had my first visual contact of space people that were beautiful, men, women, and children in space outfits looking through a window at me on the second floor of my house. And
Wow.
they were in a cul-de-sac. So I have a unique part of my ability being a media person is that I'm a contactee. There are people that do UFO shows that have no contact experience. They want to do the show because
Hmm.
it's a subject that people are now interested in. I don't just do a show because I'm interested in it. I've experienced being a contactee. I've had the bazillion experiences of both small and large spaceships, what I call spaceships, twice in the 1980s. So I can relate to people's stories because people are ready to hear these things. And I also have the ability to talk to people and their stories and interact with their stories, as Dan Rabbit Hole knows, because being a contactee, I don't only believe the stories because they're your experiences. I've had experiences maybe somewhat different, still dealing with the non-terrestrial beings. So I can understand people. And here in this broadcast on our show, we never put anybody down. We honor everyone's experiences. And I always tell people an experience that seems pretty odd to somebody, the way they had it, is because our mind doesn't comprehend anything but the 3D world of what we know. But what we don't know, now we're going to know about it. Your story is another way of educating people that your experiences that you had through the dream state and with these non-intrusive beings is a real story. I've had other people have similar stories in the dream state they've shared here. So the dream state is a common way for these beings to make contact with you in your sleep. So that's happening a
Yeah.
lot now.
Well, they're dealing with people that have all sorts of different programming from their childhood, different belief systems. So I think what they're doing is they're adjusting themselves to fit
Right.
what is acceptable to that person's programming and belief systems, if that
Sure,
makes sense.
it's hard to try to relate to humans when we're all so different in so many
Yeah,
Yeah.
ways.
yeah,
And we are different.
yeah.
No one human is alike. When you meet five people in a chair looking at each other, they'll have five different belief systems, five different stories, and that's where we're different. And there are things where different planets and different people act different ways with each other. Now, as we get into the same higher vibrational frequency as our space family is, the ones that are in the high vibrational frequencies where we're going, they will be maybe different in things they do, but in terms of the unification of their understanding, they are all systematically believing the same thing. They believe in the creator, they live in peace, they live in harmony in the universe, and they have the ability to self-heal themselves if they needed to. They have many more abilities than we realize. That our abilities are latent abilities that have not been awakened yet in our bodies. When we awaken everything in our body to where our star family is, we are able to do the things that they are able to do. And it's a matter of remembering things now. So
Mm.
as we go up into the higher frequency, we are going to remember how to heal ourselves, self-heal. We won't need doctors, so to speak. We'll be able to do that. That's what they do in the higher dimensions of existence. That's what the space star people do. They have medical, what we call medical teams, not different than to go to the hospital and hope that the doctor knows what they're doing. It's a very different experience.
Right.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It really
Commander,
It's
is.
one of in the
amazing.
chat, one of one of your subscribers was asking what can we do to be ready? And I think what you the answer is you need to listen to what the commander is saying right now. We have to prepare ourselves spiritually, mentally, and physically to be ready to transcend into this new dimension because it's going to blow your
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah, and it's already blowing people's minds. You're right. People are being blown in their minds by this, especially so many things, and with the Earth changes going on, our planet is saying, the Mother Earth is saying, and on other planets, I can't speak for them. Our planet is saying, "Okay, Earth humans, I've had enough of the way you've treated me. I'm now exploding. I've had it." So Mother Earth is saying, "I'm done with the way you've treated me." Every planet is a sentient being. Whether you believe that or not doesn't matter to me. But every planet that is created by the Creator is created with life. The planet itself is life. There couldn't be any life if life itself was not created. When God, in a most universal way, creates planets and star systems, they're created with life. There's no death, it's life. So when people say, oh, this is just a stone, this is just a hardcore rock with lava, that's a very limited consciousness. The planet is a living, sentient being, and it's been tramped on for millions of years, millions and millions of years. In our current history, we've done a lot with our advancements as a society to mess up the planet. And so the space people know that. And it's now saying, I've had enough. And people saying, why is all this happening? Because we're going into Earth change. And the Earth change part this to the contact period of our space star family. Our Earth changes are happening now. They've been happening for years, but now people see the floods are going on, all this stuff. The religious people are going to go nuts and say, oh, this is the end of the world. No, it's not. Don't listen to the religious people. They don't know what they're talking
No,
about.
I don't.
Don't
It's a
believe those
beginning.
things.
It's
It's
something
only
very
that.
beautiful.
It's all very beautiful. All those fear-based things from the religious aspects are not true. Our planet is going into a hyper state in a higher frequency. So therefore, we are all on planet Earth. Our body vibrates and the planet is vibrating at that frequency. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, ask me a question, I'll answer it. But I know this intently in my consciousness right now. I'm sharing that our planet, with all the things you see on TV and floods here and all this stuff going on, the truth is our planet is shifting gears. And, we have nothing to worry about, folks. We're going to be okay. We have to understand. We're going to be okay, right? We're all going to be okay.
Yeah. I think I mean, obviously, you can get from what I've said, I can communicate in a different way, which I'm sure you know exactly what I mean by that.
Yeah.
But if I could make a wish and ask people to do one thing, is that please stop trauma dumping into Mother Earth. Because I see a lot of spiritual people, they say, oh, when you're dealing with your trauma and you're transmuting it, send it down into the earth. Your heart has the capability of transmuting your own trauma and converting it into love and compassion. You don't need to trauma dump into Mother Earth. She's been dumped on enough.
Yeah,
absolutely. Have you guys seen that test where they put the rice in a glass sealed container and they do multiple containers, and one of the containers they speak nice to it, the other container they speak negative to it, and the other one they leave it alone. And when they go back and they do that for weeks and weeks and weeks, when you come back, the rice that they were speaking negative to molded and turned black way quicker than the rice that was getting spoken to with positivity and love. So that right there shows you that our words, our energy, all has power and influence. And you're absolutely right. Do not put your traumas into the earth. Send it to the ether and send it out with love.
Right.
Yeah, well, we have the capability of transmuting it ourselves. So essentially, we're not actually sending out anything negative because we've uncovered all the layers surrounding our heart and we've transmuted it internally so that you're not putting it out there. The only thing that's going to leave me is obviously, the love and compassion and the release of that trauma. And I know that the work that I'm doing on myself, that I have been for years, is affecting ancestors and also my children's future generations.
Yeah.
The generationals. Yes, definitely.
And
Yeah.
that's really a key thing, the generational. Go ahead, Dally.
Sorry. The other thing I wanted to ask you actually was, have you ever looked into where people are positioned that are having experiences in relation to the ley lines?
I think
was just talking about that today.
Yeah.
Really? Because I'm not far from
earlier.
Stonehenge.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Go
I'm
ahead.
about 45. I'm about 45 minutes from Stonehenge. Grew up
Oh,
was really unusual. It was on a ley line that was a crossed ley line, which is quite rare. Most of them sort of don't necessarily run past each other or along, and
hmm.
cross over each other. Some of them do, but
So
where I
you were
grew
in
up,
you were in a crossroad.
I was, yeah. But
Wow.
now I'm actually about 45 minutes away from Stonehenge, which has obviously got a major ley line running through it anyway. So I just wondered if
Now,
anybody had looked into it.
interesting you say that. Have you been to the crop circles over there?
No,
But you know about them, obviously. I have a
yeah,
very good friend. Have you heard of anybody here has ever heard of Colin Andrews? Anybody? I want to see how many people know that name. Anyone here ever heard of Colin
no.
Andrews? Colin Andrews is a dear friend of mine. He documented the crop circles, and he is a beautiful, beautiful being. He's a great dear friend, and he's written many books on the crop circles. He's done some videos on documentaries. He's spoken at certain conferences, and matter of fact, I shared this video that I posted here on YouTube that our friends, my friend Shai and another person that was former NSA, analyzed the video, and it was authenticated, and I showed it to him, the video, just the other day, and he asked me a few questions, and I gave him all the answers, and he was very impressed with the video footage that you'll see it if you take the time later on my Astro Spaceship News page. The video shows MH, Flight 370. So I know some very, very, good people, but Con Andrews, him and we met years ago when he came to the States to start speaking about crop circles. If we get a chance to read his books or watch on YouTube some of his documentation, he's just a phenomenal human being. He really is, you know?
I want
Amazing.
to
Thank
ask
you.
about these ley lines. So, do
Yeah, me
you
too.
hear any activities? Where you said you grew up in a crossroads. Now, what I'm familiar with areas and crossroads, that they see a lot of what they call spiritual interactions or
Mm.
ghosts or stuff like that. So, what did they have any experiences like that?
What do you mean they, as in who you're
The
referring to?
community when
Sorry.
you were growing up in the area, in the area on the ley lines.
I'm honest answer, I'm not 100% sure.
Hmm.
That stage of my life, I was a child, sort of, going into my early,
Ah,
sort of
okay.
late teens. And because of my trauma, I think I had shut down. Although I was still spiritual and still seeking, I feel that I was quite shut down. Um, so I didn't really mix at that point with other people of the same mindset. So, I don't know. But what has been explained to me from the beings that have contacted me is that a whole new framework's being set up surrounding the Earth, which is something's happened with the ley lines that are not right. That I can't explain it in any other way than
Hmm.
that. Unfortunately, I haven't got the words to sort of describe it any better than that. But this whole new
Hmm.
framework is being set up to support the rise in the frequency, which is going to collectively help, Mother
Hmm.
Earth and also
Yeah.
all of the living things here. Um, so I believe that there is a new system that's been set up. Is something you can't see. All I know about ley lines is that basically they were actually created from walks from main churches to other churches, and
Mm-hmm.
prayers were said all along these lines.
Hmm.
Um, but something they haven't explained anything else. They just said something's happened with it. They are no longer positively in alignment with where Mother Earth is going. So part
Interesting.
of my job was to come in and help set up this new frequency frame surrounding Mother Earth. And
Yeah.
some people have dotted all over the globe, perfectly
Yeah.
positioned, which is what interested me. If anybody else had done any sort of looking into this type of data as to how we are positioned all over the earth and what other people's take is on what's happened with the ley lines and what's been done to replace it, because all I've been told is that it's like a frequency set of bands surrounding Mother Earth. That's all
Yeah.
I've been given.
Oh, yeah, there are ley lines all over the planet. And I'm also looking at comments. One of our N is saying, do I have to do shadow work? All you have to do, and really, it's important to respond. Just go within your higher self. You don't need to do any shadow work. You just need to go in your higher self and just connect on that level all the time within yourself. When you go within yourself to the higher self, you'll have all the answers. So the question you're asking, should I do shadow work or this thing or that thing? All the answers are right inside you. They're not outside of you. So I can answer your question, and the only answer I'm going to give you is just empower yourself within yourself. You have all these things in your cellular structure to activate your DNA. Those things. Now, everybody gets activated in different ways. I have my friend Robert here. Some people that don't know how to do or where to go or what to do. He's helped a lot of people in his work spiritually. There's many different paths to getting there. Me, because I had my encounters when I was a kid and was contacted, I was activated when I came here. I mean, I didn't know as a baby how to speak or say, do this or do that. But as I got older, I couldn't deny anything because I kept having these interactions where I finally said, okay, now I realize what I have to do here. So just go within yourself, you'll have all the answers if you meditate within yourself and you allow yourself to sit still. You will have all the answers within you. You really do. You just have to have confidence in your own self. That's all.
Well, we are each a universe in ourselves. So, that makes complete sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fabulous. Thank you. Thank you for having me on. It's really nice to talk to you.
Well, you are a blessing.
Thank you for
We
joining
love
us.
you. I hope you'll always join us when we're live. I mean, to be here too. And if you have anything new happening, if they visually show themselves to you, you're always welcome to come on here. On this show, we honor everybody. We don't have arguments here. We don't have fights here. There's too much of that on TikTok. People arguing about different things. We don't do that here.
Before you go, I do want to tell you that our DOD contact did confirm. Hey, there she is. That
hey, I'm sorry.
There is activity on ley lines. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So there's something going on. We don't know, but we know that it's cosmically linked for sure.
Yeah, all I was told is that they were now running in reverse. Something had distorted them and they were sort of running in a reverse. But that's all been given to date. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
That might also be along the lines of the pole shift, which I believe we're in that 500-year buffer zone of the pole shifting. Right. Yeah. So it's like it's slowly the poles are shifting. So there is a preparedness that would have to happen. So I would assume the ley line energy would start flowing differently as well, or getting out of whack.
Daily or down the rabbit. I have some people asking, what are ley lines? Who wants to answer that question?
I don't mind you guys answering that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the ley lines are the natural energy bands around the Earth, and they intersect at different points. Think of it as like latitude and longitude almost. So it circles the Earth. There's energy fields behind them, and where they intersect, there's always been mysticism around it. Specifically like in New Orleans. I recently went to New Orleans. It lays on a ley line, and there's a lot of negative energy there. And some of the ley lines intersect in spots where there's positive energy. So I don't know how that is affected, but I do know that there's a dichotomy of good and evil, black and white, and so when there's good ley line areas, there's got to be bad ones as well.
Well, also understand, I can tell a little bit about ley lines in terms of crop circles because of my friend Colin Andrews. I've learned a lot from him, and he's here in Connecticut. I don't know if he has TikTok, but from the ley line experience with crop circles, they're also on ley lines. So
Okay.
when the spaceships make the crop circles near Stonehenge, the real crop circles, there's an energy frequency in those crop circles. Colin Andrews has documented audio sounds with equipment when he was over in England in real crop circles that had the wheat fields down in a circular pattern. He's actually recorded sounds in the crop circles, and these crop circles are on ley lines that go through all these different farm areas throughout the area where Stonehenge is. It's really fascinating.
A little bit like the sort of images you get when you look at cymatics. It's like a frequency creates a shape using matter.
Sure, like when they put salt on a table and run different frequencies and it changes shape.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
I just want to
interesting.
remind people that this is Encounters, the late night UFO spiritual talk show. And it is a talk show, so we don't have any arguments here. We're not some like other TikTok where everyone gets on with 10 people yelling at each other over each other. We don't do that here. And we won't let that happen here either. So we honor everybody. We're also interested in your UFO sighting reports, your contacts that are happening around the world. There are people with all kinds of interactions going on now. So it's really important to be able to come out of the closet here, and we'll honor you. We won't yell at you. We won't put you down. We're going to let you share your experiences. I want to also remind people on a spiritual thing that if you wish to support us, and you don't have to be here and support us if you don't want to, that way, for those that can't do it, that's fine. We want you to be here anyway. It's not about that. But if you want to honor the sending exchange of what we're doing here on a regular basis here on Encounters, please go to my CmdrAleon 2022, and there's a Venmo app. You can just make your donations there. We appreciate it if you're gifting us, which TikTok lets the host get gifts from different people, and it's totally up to you. You don't have to, but if you feel you can do it, it'll help in all the general things we're doing here, cosmically, spiritually, in our work here on this method of social communications. So please share and like. That's the other thing. We want to do 50,000 likes tonight. We're at 33,000. So we have 173 people here. Do the math. We can all make it happen pretty quick. So I every once in a while want to let you know who I am. I'm a contactee. If you're just coming here, I've had experiences since the 60s. I was totally awakened when I came here. I came here on purpose. My home planet is Mars. And I say for some people, if you say, how did I get here from Mars? Like any other human being, I was born here. I purposely came here, and I've shared my story about Mars and, Star Wars. Interesting, down the rabbit hole. And so I just give you background. I've also been on radio for over 20 years doing this kind of thing on radio, on NPR Pacifica Radio, coming out of the closet years ago that I was from Mars, even on my radio show. And talking about my experiences from Mars and about the planet itself. So just to give you my bio, that's a little bit about me. So you know that what I'm doing, there's a reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. There's a reason I'm here. And like I said, we all get to where we're going, and some people can be guided by different people on here that can help them. Everyone has their own path to getting to where we're going now, because we need to get there, because we're going to have contact, and we need to be really, really at our best. Meaning, when I say that, we need to just get rid of all the garbage, all the whatever's going on in our minds, because when we contact, it's going to be about our space brothers and sisters. When they contact us, we have to be at our best. We have to be representatives of the best possible person we are. If we're not, and we start yelling and screaming at them, or we start arguing with each other and say, what's going on with these people? Haven't they learned anything yet? We really, really, and I stress this, my contact from off planet Kadar Manka, who I had on last night for a few minutes to show people that he's real, is that he's saying to me right now, he says, people on Earth, you need to get your act together. You need to stop fighting amongst yourselves and arguing about trivial things that don't matter. You need to get your act together. How that works spiritually and cosmically, get it together. If you have to go to a class with somebody who can help you, do it. If you're not able to go within, do it. But people need to get their act together. This is the time to do it.
Yeah, it's like a merging, isn't it? It's like the bringing of, the only way I can describe it, obviously in 3D terms, is, bringing the frequency and the dimensions all into one. So I think that's why a lot of people, including myself, are getting information about previous lives. Some of us here have incarnated on many different planets. I think there are some people that are from just one star system. But I think there's also, just as we have with humans, people have incarnated in different star systems at different times. Just if you're a starseed, it doesn't necessarily mean you're only from one particular place. When you start uncovering all of the trauma and doing the shadow work and, really looking and doing the internal work. And I mean, when I did my internal work, I wouldn't read books. I wouldn't. This went on for about 2 years. I just literally shut myself down, and everything I did came from inside me. I wrote poetry for starseeds, and because a lot of starseeds feel this real sense of loneliness and isolation, and they feel like Earth is. It's not that they kind of intuitively know that Earth isn't their home. They tend to be the one that's cast out of the family on a very, misunderstood by family. But just as humans, we don't always originate from just one place. We are mixed.
That's right. And I also want to just say hello to Amshai. She's our friend involved with the DoD. I will say it that way. And we've become very close friends, her, me, and Down Rabbit Hole. And I thank her. We got the video out there, Amshai, and I'm getting a good response. I shared it with Colin Andrews. You might have heard of him. He is a dear friend of mine. He looked at the video, and he was very impressed with what he saw there. So I want to let you know that the video is getting out. I have it on YouTube, and it is getting exposure.
Good. That makes me very happy. But there's a reason, and I wasn't planning on coming to the live for about a week, but there's something that has come to my attention that is urgent.
Okay.
As you know, and I don't mean to hijack or anything, but there was a
Go
House
ahead. Go ahead.
On July 26th. All right. We all watched it, the one with David Grush, Ryan Graves, and David Fravor. Well, Representative Mike Turner from Ohio, which, may I note, Ohio, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base is in his district, has now shot down any further hearings, stating that it would cause serious harm to the reputation of the Department of Defense in the eyes of the public and should be avoided for the foreseeable future. So there are going to be no more hearings at this moment in time.
Really?
Because he convinced the chairman, and that is inevitable. So right now, I came on because I thought it was urgent that everybody knows this, and that they message their representatives and they apply pressure. That's a very bad. We're going back a direction. We're going back a step. Hopefully. Yeah.
Who made this decision at Wright-Patterson, and was it the congressional person that said no more hearings, or was it somebody at Wright-Patterson that said no more hearings?
Mike Turner, which Wright-Patterson Air Force Base is in his district. That is in his congressional district. So he is the chairman of the House Permanent Select Committee, which was the committee that was holding the trial. And he convinced Rep. James Comer, who is the chairman of the committee itself, to cease it, because if anything came out, then it would harm the Department of Defense's reputation. And I'm realizing now, I've been meeting I've been met with some certain situations in the workplace, and I'm figuring out now, maybe this has a little bit to do with it. Maybe some stuff is happening that revolving last weekend. Nonetheless, there's actively some pushback here, and everybody needs to start applying pressure to the representatives, their elected officials, because if this goes down, it's going to be 30 years before we get anything, unless there's extraterrestrial intervention. So, that's what I really needed to say.
And I just want to say, I'm shy, just for people that don't know who she is. She has come forward on my show specifically, and with me and down rabbit hole, and with my background and everything, and what we're doing on this show. She also works in the Department of Defense, and there are people in her position that are taking chances to talk about this. And, the fact that this is happening, I want everybody now that she's saying this, I want you to contact state U.S. representatives tomorrow morning. Every single person here, spread the word all over TikTok. You need to contact the representatives because there's going to be no more hearings at all.
Yep. And you need to know who your enemies are. Representative Mike Turner is the #1 enemy to this process at this moment in time. And in the public eye, there's way more going on behind the scenes. Yeah, it's not just him who made this decision. It's the people who he's in association with. It's these defense contractors, and it's Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. They're actively hiding this to keep their reputation because they've been doing an injustice to the American people for 80 years now. It is ridiculous. And I just...
Anybody in Ohio in the chat? Anybody in Ohio?
I think there might be some. The thing is, what we need to realize, folks, what she's saying is because she's in the DOD and she is part of the disclosure grouping of people in the intelligence community. You need to all contact your U.S. congressional representatives and tell them that we don't support this stopping of the hearings, that this person convincing the chairman not to have any more hearings, that's wrong. It's really against everything we should stand for as a so-called democracy. We need to tell our congressional reps that, no, we need to fight back and say that, no, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, I'm not going to say the word, but basically you can go wherever. We, the public, have a right to know the truth about the space people, your interactions with them over the last couple of decades. This is our time, not your time. And the reputation of the DOD, who cares about the reputation of the DOD? Right. I don't care. So their reputation's going to be, their ego is going to be blown. Yeah. The world doesn't care about their ego.
That's enough ridiculous to me. The fact that their singular explanation for this is that it's not because it's a national security threat, not because people this information could cause ontological, but because of their reputation, because they don't want to be seen as inferior to any other government agency or any other government agency in the world. It's because they're too scared to fess up to the fact that they've been hiding this for so long. And people have the right to know that there are things other than us that are actively taking part in human matter, are not hostile in nature. I mean, this is the biggest question we've been asking since the dawn of time. Are we alone? And we are being forcefully withheld from it. Mm-hmm. And that's all I came on here to say.
I know you're upset about it, and I can hear that. And and you keep fighting the fight within the DOD and your friends in the intelligence community. They need to just not be afraid to stand up, because the DOD doesn't control the world, and those in the DOD and Wright-Patterson who don't want the truth out, I'm going to say this right now. If anybody out there is in government that's opposed to disclosure, and you're watching this show, you've made a big mistake trying to pressure these people in Congress to do what they're doing.
You're committing treason.
Yeah, it is treason. It's against everything we believe in as a society. And we need to keep speaking out, and we need not to be afraid, whether we're inside the DOD or outside the DOD doing a talk show like this. I have no fear. This makes me more angry in the sense of what's going on. We need to all write every single representative in the country. Everybody out there, you need to spread this. This broadcast is going to be posted on YouTube.
Put it on social media. Make a post about it. Tell your friends. Everything we can do, guys. We gotta get it out there. Another way we can do it? Tap that like button and we need more viewers, more people.
Support what we're doing. Bring more people here. I'm Shy is one of our inside people in the DOD, and she hadn't been planning to come on. We honored what I heard that she couldn't do, but she had to come on. She had was really for us to know. Now we know that Wright-Patterson and powers that be within the Department of Defense are trying to halt any more future hearings. Originally, the people on that committee said we're going to have more hearings, more whistleblowers are going to come forth. Now the DOD doesn't want their reputation ruined, so therefore they're putting the kibosh on any more hearings. And you're right, I'm shy. It'll be another 30 years before we possibly can talk about, unless our space people intervene. So that leads me to another question. And I haven't contacted my higher ups to see what that's about. But I get the feeling the people, the galactic levels, are not going to be too happy about this.
If I notice an uptick, I want to gradually look at the data for next year and the year after that, and I want to see where it goes. I want to see if the numbers increase, because we've had a steady incline I call it steady. That's a very generous word, but a rapid rate of incline of aerial phenomena in general. And we've gotten to the point where we could, for example, Arrow. They'll say sometimes they've seen these things, and a certain chunk of them are unexplainable. Well, that certain chunk of unexplainable has been growing for 20 years. We're at the point where most of these are unexplainable. We can't explain them. We don't know what they are. And in the public eye, of course. And honestly, this statement should set off a million red flags for everybody who hears it. The fact that they're saying that is an acknowledgement in themselves that they know that whatever whistleblowers would bring to the table would harmfully harm the reputation in the eyes of the American people, and would cause us to lose trust, like we haven't already. People like us, obviously, but the average people don't know about stuff like this. They don't know that they're being withheld from core information to the human species. This isn't a simple matter. This is something that would change everybody's lives. And it's just, I'm gonna leave.
How do we get people to see the light? How do we do it?
Well, in honesty, I think
this is one way of doing it on my show.
I think there needs to be a leak of data. Yeah. Genuinely, I think video needs to be leaked. But the thing about that is insanely hard to accomplish. Yeah. We aren't allowed our phones. We aren't allowed watches. We aren't allowed earbuds. We aren't anything. You are checked for any technology before you enter that space. In any reconnaissance operation. Yeah. Any intelligence gathering operation. It happens for the Navy, it happens for the Army, everything. Yeah. And when something is caught on those cameras, that data and that radar data is immediately erased or taken and put in a SCIF somewhere under TS-SCI clearance, which is top secret, secure, compartmentalized, which even there's levels above that. And even those people can't access that sometimes. They have to have the need to know for that. So, it's just very disheartening.
And there's so many layers, I'm shy, and I'm shy for people to know her. She's in the Department of Defense, and in her position, she also has security clearance with some of her colleagues in other areas, that there are people, and she's one of many. She happens to be the one that's a spokesperson when she's on my show, but she's right on the inside. And the thing we have to know, folks, is we now have to go after all the U.S. congressional people and tell them this is wrong. We need to tell them it's an election year coming up, and this is not about politics, but we need to tell these people you need not to be pressured by the DOD and say, well, we will have more hearings. You're right. We don't want your reputation to be. Who cares about the DOD's reputation? Does anybody really care in the world about the DOD's reputation?
Only person who cares is the DOD themselves. Right. That's it.
Commander, you brought up a point about politics, and I don't want to put my friend Shy on the spot. If the elections were tomorrow, who should we vote for that's going to give us the best shot for disclosure?
I don't think any of them will. Tell you.
That's the great. I agree with Commander right there.
None of them will.
I don't even know who I'm going to vote for, but for anybody who's thinking about messaging the representatives, tell them that you, your family, your church group, your book club, whatever, the group you drink with, are only voting in terms of trying to get disclosure. So if they can't add that to the table, then you make sure the people that are running those phones know that you will not be reelecting them unless they take action and they take charge on these issues. And if enough people do it, they're going to feel pressure. But we can only do so much, but we have to try, because there was so much lined up for this. And I'm under the firm belief that Representative Mike Turner is a ploy. for some other, I'm not going to say, but for other people that are telling him to do this. And there's a very important reason. You know, if you were in one of the places that has the most UFO recoveries, the most non-terrestrial bodies collected, then I would sure as hell be, a little bit,
Let it out, girl.
be
Go ahead.
a little bit scared of that information getting out, especially if it's been going on for 70 years. And we've had upwards of 20 recovery operations this last 6 months alone. You know, that would make somebody a little bit scared.
Yeah.
But I need to take my leave because I'm under very strict conditions
I know
right
you
now.
are. I know you are. Well, you revealed some new information.
But I appreciate you guys letting me talk about this.
No, we want you to be careful, but that's, I'm Shy. She's with the DOD. She's one of our whistleblowers here, and we appreciate you. And when you're able to come on, you will. And you just let your people know, and all of them know that are involved in other agencies if they have information and they want to come on. This is a place where they come on anonymously and share. So I know they're supposed to be coming on, but thank you.
Goodbye.
All right, take care. Let me see. So that's our contact in the Department of Defense. She works in image analyst. I would say that would be a kind of correct way to put it.
I'm so glad she came on because she sent me the message to share with everybody. And I've been sitting here during the show thinking how to explain it. And she came on and explained it perfectly. So
yeah, and
thank you.
They're under the wraps right now. I'm trying others inside the Department of Defense in different areas. They're under pressure not to say have a memo where they cannot say really anything right now. And she came on here, and like I said, she works within the DOD. And you're not going to hear about her in CNN News or MSNBC or anything. She is our inside person who's watched our show and eventually decide to come on here live, as Down Rabbit Hole knows. So we need to do this. This show is recorded. This show is going to go on YouTube. So I'm going to post it on YouTube and also on Facebook. All right. People need to contact their U.S. House of Representatives and tell them that the hearings must continue, that the whistleblowers must be allowed to speak, that what the representative who talked to the other representative not to hold hearings anymore, that we need to contact
Yeah, we got to get his name. I'm going to look it up.
Get his name, contact him, and put pressure on that representative to continue with the hearings.
Yeah, we need to expose him.
We need to expose him. We need to expose this person.
Specifically, the one there where Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Shy, if you're still in the thing, send me his Mike Turner. That was the name. Thank you.
Mike Turner.
So, guys,
so
we need
the
to
word Mike Turner. Everybody,
Mike Comer, Mike and Shane Comer. We need to put it out there into social media.
We need to contact them tomorrow morning. Representative Mike Turner and Representative James Conner's office. Everybody here, spread the word to thousands upon thousands of people. There are millions of people on TikTok interested in disclosure in this subject. So now we have these two names. Everybody, get their number, whether they have a toll-free number in Washington or whatever. You need to call these people up and tell them, we disagree, we do not have any more hearings. They need to hear from the people. This is not right. This is totally against everything. Over 70 a petition. And I mean, calling them directly is very important too. Petitioning, however you want to do it, we need to contact every federal congressional representative, and these two people specifically, Representative Mike Turner and James Comer, and tell them, no, you can't do this. You don't have the right
to do is we all need to march to Washington.
I mean, the commander doesn't get riled up about too many things. When it comes to disclosure and the truth, that's, now you're dealing with fire here, folks. Now I'm fired up. Now I'm saying everybody out there, every one of you can get in touch with 10 or 20 other people on TikTok. Let them know about these two people. Mufan is with that. Beautiful. Agreed. Again, the two people, write their names down. Mike Turner and Representatives James Comer. Everybody remember those names. Representative Mike Turner and Representative James Comer are now kiboshing any future hearings for people to come forward regarding disclosure. Yeah, that's not right. That's wrong.
In the chat, user 82 says perhaps this will speed up the process of arriving. We can only hope so. We can only hope so. As Commander said, as soon as Shai told that to Commander, I felt the anger from Kadar Manka. I could feel the anger throughout the universe.
Oh, they're not happy. I will say this. Kadar Manka is telepathically communicating with me. For those you don't know, I'm a telepathic contact with a true space being called Kadar Manka from the Sagittarian Council. I don't channel anything. I never channeled anything. I am a direct contact telepathically. I'm fully activated. Amshai knows my background and who I am. And they're not happy. But the fact that they're not happy is because of what they're hearing about what these people are doing. So people need to contact these two representatives.
Aurora Threads, I think you missed it. We just found out that we might not get any more Senate hearings and special counsels because Representative Mike, what the hell was Turner? Mike Turner is not pushing for it. Yep, Shai just confirmed.
Mike Turner and then Representative James Comer.
Oh, she's saying on the Senate side. Well, either way, there are powers that be that don't want this information out there. They don't want disclosure.
So wait a minute, you're saying on the Senate side there will not be any hearings, or are you saying on the congressional side?
I think from what Shai was saying, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Tim was supposed to do all CC. I don't think it matters at all.
Yeah.
NDA, well, I don't think the Senate's going to get any.
Yeah, I think the Senate's going to be told you better not do this by the Department of Defense, and this is the problem. The Department of Defense should have no control over any senators or congressional people regarding the disclosure hearings. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, they're talking about the UAP
amendment. I think Representative Chuck Schumer in the Senate has a UAP amendment. I'm familiar with it that they were going to vote on.
I heard that there was, there's going to be rescinding on that. Is that true too, Shai? That Chuck Schumer, who was a proponent for disclosure, is now kind of turning around on that.
Mm.
And that just goes to show you that these politicians, they might be well intentioned at first, but when the influence and the fear sit in, they're gonna go with the money and the power and not the truth.
Okay, thank you, Daly. We're gonna.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. She wants me to. There we go. So yeah, it's just one of those things. I think Dusty Mom 3 is going to be one of our final guests. We'll be ending our live in about probably 15 minutes tonight. But thank you, Daly, for being with us. And Daly, Dusty Mom, welcome to our show.
Hello. So I had a couple questions because on my local Facebook group for the town that I live in, in the last, I think, either Friday, somebody had reported on there seeing a UFO over our lake. And then just last night, somebody had posted, does anybody else see the UFOs outside? And I ran out there to look for it, but I didn't see anything. Wow. And then he posted a video on it, but in my opinion, the video quality, you can't really tell what's going on. You just see some like balls of light, but they're not moving. So I would assume, I'm not an expert. I would assume that they would be moving a little bit. So
What
I'm not
area?
sure.
Well, it could be if they have a low quality video camera, they would have a poor quality video.
Yeah, I'm assuming it was his cell phone or something.
Yeah, it
What
probably was.
area
Yeah.
are you in?
So that's part of one of my questions, because I live at the gates of Yosemite National Park.
Oh,
And I'm wondering if the national parks have any kind of connection with the galactic or...
absolutely. The national parks have areas in them set up for the beings to be able to go and enjoy nature. There's even, listen, that there's classified parts of these national parks that nobody is allowed to go to, but they have picnic tables in these clearings in the middle of nowhere. What are these picnic tables for, and why are they by these large clearings? Absolutely.
Wow, that's very interesting.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I just found it really curious that all of a sudden people are reporting these incidences, and I'm like questioning why are they doing this. But then again, I think with all that's been going on, people are less afraid to speak up.
Sure.
And it's
I think that's
very
where,
curious
again,
that there's... Sorry.
that's where it's important, Dusty Mom, as we were saying, with our contact here in the DOD, who's watching our live now, was just on a few moments ago. Everyone needs to be proactive now. Tomorrow morning, I want everyone to commit to contacting the U.S. congressional representative, find out who they are, and tell them that you are not supportive of stopping the disclosure hearings in Washington. Everyone needs to do that. If you're just coming on here, we were just disclosed information that the committee that was doing the disclosure hearings are not going to hold any more hearings. They were pressured by the Department of Defense to cease the hearings and not have any more hearings, because it's going to cause the reputation of the DOD to be tarnished. Their reputation is going to be tarnished. Not that they had a great reputation anyway, but
Right.
in their egotistical minds, they're going to be tarnished, right? So contact your local U.S. congressional representative tomorrow morning. Everybody, they all have toll-free numbers in Washington. Let them know you heard that this is happening, and you want to make sure that those hearings are reinstated, and that we, the people of the planet Earth, have a right to know everything that's going on regarding what the DoD has known for 70 years, what they've known about the extraterrestrial intelligence and about the UFOs, and everything related to the subject needs to be exposed, and the whistleblowers need to be allowed to come forward and speak before Congress regarding this to the whole world. This is just not acceptable, and we need to speak up now. So I'm hoping you'll do it as well. To groupings of people, and everyone should do that.
What about other countries? Are they doing disclosure? I think the system is controlling everything, even the other countries. I think even countries that we don't have good alliances with, I think as far as disclosure goes, everybody's on the same page.
Yeah, that's what they
And the
probably
powers
do.
that be are on the same page.
Yep.
It's going to take people, like Shai said, people from the inside. The politicians can push, but what is it for them to say, oh, sure, we're going to give you all of our records, and either one of two things happens. There's no records, or there's so many records that are redacted that they'll never be able to go through it.
Right. And Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, people talk about Area 51. Wright-Patterson is where a lot of this started. It started at Wright-Patterson. Wright-Patterson has probably different levels where they have reverse engineered technology from these UFOs or spaceships, non-terrestrial craft. We've talked about how there are people or beings at Wright-Patterson that are being kept captive by, I would say, the Department of Defense in that region through Wright-Patterson. And the reason why they don't want disclosure, because it would disclose everything about what they've been doing for over 70 years. in truth, what they've been doing is, imprisoning some of these extraterrestrial beings. They're imprisoned. This is a truth. It's against universal law to imprison anybody from any other planetary world on our Earth. But our DOD has done that, and I don't care if the DOD hears this or not. You are going to be paying for thinking you could lie to the public for another years. You're going to pay for that now, because now we're telling people on our show to contact the representatives. And also, I'm going to go back on the comments here. And again, I'll let people know that, again, you need to contact the representatives. And I made a note of it here.
Mike Turner.
I'm going backwards.
Comer.
Mike Turner.
And James Comer.
And James Comer. Write those names, Mike Turner and James Comer. I mean,
and
like a mantra.
Whoever your local representative is and senator, whatever calls you can make, even in your local government, in your local community, stir it up, tell people.
Yeah, no, really. You need to do that. And
Listen,
by doing that,
there's one thing we can all agree on is the crazy government.
What we can tell you is that, the DOD doesn't think the American people are going to do anything, or the people of the world won't do anything. Every one of us needs to make them know, no, they're wrong. We're not going to be a bunch of sheep and saying, okay, there's no more hearings. Oh, that's all right. I'll go about going to the market, watching Good Morning America, or I'll watch some Disney movie, and I'm not going to, who cares? I got too many things to do anyway. Let's go to the beach. No, it's not going to happen that way. We're not going to let the DOD off the hook now. I'm talking to the DOD directly here on this show. So is Down Rabbit Hole. So is a number of people. Now you've fired us up. As a media person, you fired me up. I'm going to make sure.
Awoken the sleeping giants.
Yes. This is really important. And wherever I go now, on anybody else's lives on TikTok, if I do, and I do visit some of the people, I'm going to tell them to make sure they contact their representatives and these reps, and all their reps that are in Washington, about disclosure, about having these hearings. It's really important. So we're getting down the wire here. Please share and like. Please, if you support what we're doing here and support my contact in the DOD, I'm Shy. Please support this show and the work we're doing on many levels. You can do that by going to CmdrAleon 2022, and our Cash App is Venmo. You can donate whatever you want, but I usually say 5, 10, or 15, but whatever you can do. It's really important. This is a clearinghouse for your stories, for people to share what's happening, your sightings, as Dusty Mom was mentioning a sighting where they are. There's so many things happening that you're not going to hear about, but you're going to hear about it here. And we will continue when Shy is able to. She will come on and disclose information that you're not going to get anywhere else, because she is in the DOD and she's part of the inner circle of people that want disclosure and are tired of the people in the DOD hiding it for so many years, so many decades. So I thank you all for being here. Any final comments? Dusty Mom, do you have anything you would like to ask or share before?
I just want to say thank you for allowing me to come on and learn and just interact with everybody in a positive way, so that way we can have things change for the better.
Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate your stories. And hearing these stories, part of what the show's about is your UFO sightings. So you shared a sighting that I wasn't even aware of, and then maybe other people here weren't aware of. But that's what that's what real time is. We want to have real time information for people. These things are happening everywhere now, these sightings. So people need to be aware of these things. Make sure I always tell people, if you have a cell phone with a camera, make sure you're 100% tuned up, charged up, And if you see something, pull over if you're driving. Don't try to drive and record it. You're not going to have a good visual. Pull over, get out, hold the camera steady, and record your recording and document it. Because this is what people need to do, is document what's happening above us. It's happening all over the world. Things are amping up. There's going to be contact. Whether the DOD wants their reputation to be in place or not doesn't even matter. You know, it's all like a big ego
Not the
trip.
reputation, it's the control. They know
And the
once
control, yeah.
they
Yep.
disclose it to everybody that there's going to be, the ontological shock is going to be rough, but we'll be able to make it through it.
Yeah. So everyone, thanks for being here. We'll be on Monday night with late night encounters after 11 p.m. Please share and like. Please tell people about the show. Narnia Business. What should we do if it won't record or be seen in the camera? Make notes. But in most cases,
Take notes,
your
take
camera should record
audio.
it. Your camera will record it.
Commander, I've had an experience. Me and my sister, we thought we were going to have the most beautiful video of this craft. And as soon as we got the craft into the lens of the camera conked out.
Yeah. Well, that can happen too.
Yeah.
That could be, yeah. The energetic difference in the vibrational frequency.
What is that?
That is weird. I've never seen that before.
I've never seen that before.
Oh my God, that blew.
I
That
love
just blew
that.
my That was.
Were
Thank you
those
so much.
crystals? It looked like crystals in there too.
Man, I felt like I just went down the rabbit hole.
Oh my God. Man, I'm blown away right now. I just it's like being on a cosmic trip. That was crazy. Speaking of which, before we end,
that was
one
more
of my
than
new
a
crystals that was done.
Whoa, look at that.
The Commander, this is one of our ET crystals. Just got this at the East Coast Gem and Mineral Show. You can see all the energy in it. This thing is totally activated. See the lines in it? Kedar Manka told me, here's one of the crystals you need to have. And it's an amazing crystal. You can probably feel the energy.
What is inside of it?
This is kind of like a smoky quartz, they told me, but this thing is amped up. I'm going to put it here and let people feel the energy.
I think it's got something inside of it, living inside of it.
You can see something in it. Yeah, there's definitely an energy inside of it. You can sort of see a head in there. You can see, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, that angle right there looks like there's a face looking out at us. Don't move it. Everybody take a screenshot. Does anybody else see the eyes, the nose, the mouth just staring, looking? Hit the like button if you're put it in the chat. If I'm crazy or if you guys pull it back a little bit, Commander. Pull it back a little more and turn it a little to the left. The other way. Right there, at that angle. Do you guys see it? Wow. Looks like a gray.
I didn't notice that until just now, and I'm seeing it too.
It looks like a skull in there.
And there's almost looks like there's two eyes to it.
Yeah, two eyes, a nose, and a mouth.
I can see the eyes. You see the eyes now?
Yeah.
See, right there, you can see the eyes. I can't make this stuff up, people. I cannot make this stuff up. They guide me.
It's my first time seeing it. Look, wait. So Eve for Life has the picture. That picture right there on your comment is what I'm seeing in the crystal.
Kedar Manka, when I go to the show, they guide me. The command guides me to certain crystals. They know exactly where the crystals are. I just pick them up. This is the only one of this kind. There were 3 big tables of crystals at the show, and I went to this crystal. I said, "Oh, this is really interesting. This is really high amped up." But I never saw the face inside.
Pull it out a little more so we can see. Now that we can see the face, pull it out, or no, bring it closer, but to move it up more so we can see the bottom part of it. Move your hand a little. Wow, look at that.
Oh, there's a body there.
Wow.
It looks like 2 legs.
Holy
I didn't see
crap.
that before.
Someone
Looks like
says put a
physically a
light
leg.
behind it. Yeah, when you turn it, it go. Oh, look! Wait! Stop! Look there on the right side. Now I'm seeing faces looking away, like a side view. Did anybody see it shift to a side view now?
You know what? I see a face, and the face, it looks like a person's human face there with its head down.
Right, with the side, but it's from the side, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And then when you turn it the other way, it looks like one peeking out the side, right? Oh gosh, it's so creepy when you shift it. I'm seeing different things.
I can't make this stuff up, folks. I swear I can't make this up.
Wow. You know what? Just give us a full, slow 3. I don't mean to be like Vanna Whiting you over here, Commander, but give us a slow twirl on that. Let's see if we see anything else in there. Wait. Look at that, guys. Wait, stop. Look at that. Oh, my gosh. Look at that. Pull it back a little bit. Tell me you guys aren't seeing that. Looks like, yeah, there we go. Yeah, look at that. Look, yeah, I mean, it looks like, yeah, that one's like looking like intense looking at you. Wow. Let's keep it turning. Let's see what else comes out.
You can see the eyes. You know, I'm seeing this for the first time. I'm blown away by this thing. My YouTube is Ashtar Command Spaceship News. So in the morning, definitely within the next 24, 48 hours, this is going to be on my YouTube channel. Let me turn it slowly and see if any other things happen here.
No, the other way. Keep turning it the other way. Yeah, that way. Okay, yeah, there's that guy. What's next? What are we going to see next? If I see, that looks like a hand. On the backside, a 3-fingered hand with like veins.
Oh my God.
Wow. This thing's full of stories, and that's just one angle. I mean, I'm sure we could turn it at so many different angles and see so many. I mean, we could spend an hour just looking at different angles and trying to see what we could delineate from the messaging in our eyes. Oh my gosh.
Now what I
There's the
see is
thumb.
a whole hand and the thumb,
Yeah,
and then the fingers. The
right.
fingers and a human hand and a thumb. Now, I'm not losing it here, folks.
And look, there's a little baby gray looking at us in between the thumb and the finger.
Where are you seeing that? I don't see that.
Pull it, turn it. No, a little other way. Pull it back a little bit. Right there at that angle. There it is. Look at that. Look at those 2 eyes looking at you. They're slotted up and down.
Someone said it might have many powers. Use it on the Department of Defense. Let me figure that one out.
Oh, I wish we could. I wish we had.
This thing has a lot of very, very high frequency energy in it.
Oh, wow. Look at that on the side there. Yeah, Commander, you could definitely crack that on the DOD's head and knock some sense into. Oh, wait, stop! Go back! Turn it a little bit more back the other way. Look, there's like 2 arms. It looks like a creature, full body, 2 arms. Oh my gosh.
I never knew this had all this. I was looking at the lines on the crystal. They told me to get the crystal, but they didn't tell me any more than that. And now I'm seeing all these things in the crystal that I didn't see before.
Oh my gosh. I saw, no. Yeah, it looked like a troll. Yeah, it looked like the creature from Willow at the end.
Let me go
Like
slowly here.
right there. Like, oh my, oh, it's a dark creature in there. Oh. And there's back, and so now that you're back at that angle, the face is there's the face. Wow. Yeah, you guys saw it. It looked like a person, full body, arms out to the side. Look, there's the face right there.
You can see the eyes.
You can't make this up. You can't. I mean, we're all seeing the
Actually,
same thing.
in
Yeah,
some
like the
cases,
teeth and
if you
everything.
look, what appears to be the nose, it looks like three people. Now that you're looking at it, like three different people together.
Yeah, right. I know I'm pointing to it, but there's 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh. I'm just blown away.
I can't make this stuff up. You know.
Now you see you're holding it like this, Commander. Turn it like this. Let us see it from that top view down. Let's see if we see anything from the fat part down.
I'm gonna switch it backwards.
There you go. Now hold it like, now take your hand and just go like this.
Go like what? This?
Nope. Turn it. Take your hand. I want to see the fat side. There we go. Now turn it more towards us. There we go. That's so weird how when you look at it from that angle, it just looks like a landscape almost. See, when you do it sideways, wow. Now it's just looking. Wait. I know you guys saw that. Look like a creature in there.
I see what appears to be. I mean, it looks like a pyramid. See in the middle there, the pyramid.
Yeah, like an island or a pyramid or a castle.
Like a land area, a pyramid, right in there.
Right.
Yeah, I see a pyramid right here. See it? The darker part?
Yep, I see the building. To me, on my end, it looks like a hut. It looks like an old hut. And I can even see trees next to it to the left. Yeah, like a pyramid.
A landmass.
Maybe we're looking at Antarctica.
I gotta tell you, man, this is just like blowing my mind right now. This thing has this crystal is not just a crystal. They're telling me this thing has things that are going to show us stuff, that this crystal is showing us things that exist. Now, how did I know that? You know, I picked this up out of bazillions of crystals. I'm told to take this one by Kedar Manka. I listened to him always, and he was right. He says the people are going to see different things in the crystal, and exactly.
Okay, wait, stop. Okay, now see if you have your hand like that. Imagine if it was an ice cream cone. Now tip it forward. Tip it forward. That's what we want to see. We want to see the point. Hold the point so it's straight at the camera. Oh my gosh. There we go. Oh.
You're seeing reflections in the
I can
room.
see the dust on your fan.
You know, there is something there. Let's see here.
It's so glossy. There we go. The top. Oh, the top right there. Look at that. Look at that. That's a reptilian. That's a reptilian right there. Oh my God.
I don't see that. I just see light images like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You had it at an angle and it looked like an angry face. If you guys saw the angry face, pull it back a little more. Right there. Oh, gosh. Yes, yeah. I'm just saying back it off a little bit because the camera, the blue light is, right there. There he is. He's looking at you. He's angry. He is not a happy camper.
Okay, I'm done with that. Yeah, there's many things in that crystal, and I think perceptions of reality could be. Everyone can see something different. The pyramid thing was interesting, and it looked like in the crystal, it was showing a pyramid with a landmass with trees around the bottom part of the pyramid.
Yeah, you saw it look like pine trees,
Yeah, there's definitely stuff in there. It is amazing. I
was feline. Sorry, the chat. It had feline Draco dragon look to it.
The crystal itself has a very vibrational frequency, but I guess people will see whatever they see in it. But it's interesting. The last part with the pyramid, that blows me away. Just seeing the pyramid and the trees and the crystal. It wasn't a normal crystal. What is a normal crystal? It's not. Every crystal I have is an ET crystal over the years. Every crystal I have, if I show you the crystals, you're going to see something. It's just the way it is,
I don't know who that guy is, but I'll take him because I am pumped up. I'm pumped up about disclosure. I'm pumped up about the crystal. I'm pumped up about seeing the commander fall asleep again on a live. I'm pumped up about all of it.
That's not happening. That's not going to happen. That was totally by accident. But I can tell you, we'll be on tomorrow night after 11. This will be posted on my YouTube channel. Give me time to just, when I'm fully aware and fully awake of what I'm doing, I will post it there. The crystal, if people want me to show it again, I will tomorrow night. Now that I know that we're seeing things, Down Rabbit, thanks for seeing those things, because I was just going to show the crystal.
No, you know me. I've got to open my third eye on everything.
Yeah. Levick, good to see you, brother. Levick's in the house here. Levick, always good to see you.
I'll find an image in a bowl of cereal.
So everybody, I love you all. I all want you to have a great week, whatever you're doing. Miss Gloria, thank you. Marlene, thank you for being here. Scott Hammond, everybody. Daily Vibe, thank you for coming on live. Joe's man, can the crystal make us rich? Can the crystal make us rich? No, that's not happening. It will definitely be an activator. I might just try to use it against the DOD.
Yeah, you put that thing on the end of a staff and crack them right on the head.
Jay Bear, thanks for the gifts. Everybody, thanks for your gifts. If we can get one or two more galaxies or some of those weird looking things.
What was the crazy thing?
I don't know what that was. But if you want to support the program by gifting us with a galaxy or something, I certainly unconditionally approve. There we go. Gene, thank you so much.
Look at that.
Gene, we love you. We love you, Gene. Thank you so much. And also, people, we have 3,400 subscribers. We're slowly getting there. So become a subscriber. You can subscribe for a month, 2 months, whatever. I think whatever they let you do. But we appreciate that. And thank you, everybody. Thank you, Down a Rabbit Hole, for having me turn the crystal different ways. I didn't even know there was anything other than those lines.
Hey, I'm here to back you up, Commander. I'm here to help you spread the good word.
And Betsy says, can you show us the other ones you brought at the show? I will show you.
We're going to have to do a whole night of just crystal gazing.
I will show you one of my other crystals here.
Oh, gosh. Here we go. What am I going to see?
This is amethyst. All these crystals are activated. Whoops. Sorry about that. Hold on. Let me get another crystal here.
So somebody said, hey, Jaws Man. He just said, Commander, your live stream gets better every night. That is awesome.
Thank you very much. I'll show you this other crystal here. Let me switch it up here. This has got a double.
Put my glasses on. Hold on. I'm gonna put my glasses on to see better.
Okay, this is a double. This is beautiful. The energy's here.
Ooh, that one's got like a. That one has had like a hieroglyphic. What is that? Wait, there's a person right there. Stop. There's a person's face. I don't care what you say. Y'all think I'm crazy. I don't care. That's a person's face right there. Put it up a little closer. You guys can't move it. Oh, that dang screen. Right there. It looks like the face on Mars or the face on the moon.
And I want people to know the Ashtar Command guides me to which crystals I'm supposed to get each year. They tell me to go and they'll tell me to stop, pull the crystal up, look at the crystal. They're looking at the crystal. They're telling me which crystals to get. So I go by their guidance.
I feel like that guy in that movie. I seen it in the crystal.
I'll see if you can see any other things in here. Let's see.
Oh, I just saw a craft.
Where?
Back. Right there. Oh, wait, go back to that angle. Go back to that angle you just did. Dude, you guys see a sideways eye there? Oh my God! Stop! There's an eye looking at us right there! Oh my gosh! I'm sorry, I'm freaking out. I am sorry, but there's an eye looking right at us. Holy crap.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. I see you.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to act like a Star Wars nerd or something.
I don't know what to do.
Oh my God. Yeah, it was like side-eyeing us. Oh,
right here. See that one right there?
Yeah, but the angle, it's all about the angle and the distance. There's that cat face again now. Or a hawk. Okay, yeah.
Wait a minute. There's another face right here.
Oh gosh. Look at that. Come closer. Closer. You guys see there's two faces right next to each other like the cone heads. Oh. And then there's another face.
I cannot make this up, folks. I didn't even notice this until now.
Wow. Yeah, right. Exactly, down south. What is this like? Is it alive? It's so creepy.
I want people to realize something. These crystals are very, very positive, very high frequency. So, what our perception is of what we're seeing, in reality, will be way different than what we're seeing here. So, and also there's like two pyramids. Like when they guide me to these crystals. These amethysts have two certain things here, and these I'm using for healing. They're very activated, and you can probably feel the energy. But I can't stay on all night. So we will be back on. I will show these crystals tomorrow night. I have a few other crystals that we got at the show. I'm very kind of interested in what you see in those crystals. I'll show them to you tomorrow night.
Commander, thank you. Yeah, the crystals were a hit tonight. We're having encounters with crystals.
Yes, encounters with crystals. That should be a good, interesting topic. Please share and like, and please if anybody wishes to do a final galaxy or something, we would certainly appreciate it. And they're going to call it a night. I appreciate everybody here. And, again, this is what we do here. We provide you with stuff you're not going to see. Stacy, thank you. We love you, Stacy. Thank you for that. We thank everybody for their little gifts, the big gifts. Every gift counts. And even if you can provide us with a gift, you are a beautiful being, a beautiful person. We just love you all, Thank you, Mystic. Everybody out there, I'm going to go off planet now, and we'll catch you tomorrow night, late night, on Encounters. Thank you for the hat. I feel like the guy in the movies. I definitely feel like I'm going to be Raiders of the Lost Ark. Odin, thank you for the roses. Good night, Stacy. Everybody down the rabbit hole, Sandy, everybody out there. We're going to press the little button here. We will be posting this on our YouTube channel. And also remember, contact your congressional representatives tomorrow and tell them that they must continue the UFO disclosure hearings, that we do not accept those hearings being stopped. Chesno, brother, good to see you. Good night. Everybody, good night. Mac, everybody out there. We'll catch you later.